Welcome, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you for joining us. To our friends in Central Asia, I know this is a late hour for you all, so thank you so much for taking the time. My name is Kaylee Bateman. For those of you who don't know me, I am the programs manager with the Snow Leopard Conservancy. I joined the Conservancy in July of 2023, and I oversee the Conservancy's conservation, education, and research programs. And I'm the main point of contact for all of our partners in Asia. And I have the immense honor of introducing today Tshiring Lhamu Lama, one of Snow Leopard Conservancy's partners. Tshiring Lhamu Lama was born and raised in the high altitude landscapes of Dolpo, one of the most remote regions of the Nepal Himalayas. She is the first woman from her Dolpo community to earn a master's degree in natural resource management, a milestone achieved through the Chandra Gurung Memorial Fellowship in 2014. Supported by WWF Nepal. Deeply connected to her homeland, where traditional pastoralism and snow leopards coexist, she recognized the urgent need for sustainable solutions to conserve snow leopards while also addressing the needs of local herders who share the land with these vulnerable snow leopards. So today we're going to be hearing from Tshiring in her presentation titled, How Snow Leopards Changed My Life and Why They Must Be Conserved. As the founding director of Snow Leopard Journey and Snow Leopard Sisters, Tshiring is on the front lines of snow leopard conservation in the Dolpo Himalaya. Through innovative, sustainable, and practical projects, she works to encourage, empower, engage, and employ local youth by promoting ecotourism, sustainable livelihoods, and environmental education. Tshiring's efforts aim not only to shift local perceptions of the snow leopard, transforming it from a threat to a vital asset for both conservation and community well-being, but also to end retaliatory killings of snow leopards in the Dolpo Himalayas. And before I turn it over to Tshiring, I'll just let everyone know that if you have questions, feel free to pop them into the chat, and then we'll be able to relay those to Tshiring after her presentation. Well, thank you, and take it away, Tshiring.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tshiring Lama, and thank you for Snow Leopard Network team and Kelly for the opportunity to speak today. I am very aware of the excellent work of Snow Leopard Network, and in my graduate schools, I really wanted to be snow leopard researcher and scientist, but what happened in my community of Dolpo changed totally my direction of life work to be the conservationist. Oh no. This is Rigmo village, and which is close to the beautiful Lake Foksundo, where I was born and raised. When I was a child, my domestic work was to take care of our livestock. And yeah, at that time, I heard a little bit about the snow leopards from my mothers, but never chance to see the snow leopards. And another, my domestic work was later to take care of my young sister when my father died. But luckily in 1995, a group of kayak expedition from the US, among the stream, Doc Emmons, he's from the Montana, and sponsored my educations from primary school to bachelor degree in the environmental science. And he was really interested to support my master degree, but I got a Chandra Gurung Fellowship from WWF Nepal, and I did the master degree in natural resource management. During my master's thesis, I had to do the thesis, and my thesis topic was on impact of caterpillar fungus on the snow leopards in Foxton National Park, Dolpo. And yeah, at that time, there is lots of environmental issues around our hometown Dolpo. For example, illegal timber deforestation, mox deer poachings, and yes, and in caterpillar fungus collection and snow leopards and over harvesting caterpillar fungus collection. But among the issues, I choose these caterpillar fungus collection and snow leopards, which was and is like burning issues in Dolpo Himalaya. And I found like thesis finding was very, very negative. Harvester, collectors, and herders like torturing the baby snow leopards and beating the snow leopards, and yeah, to these like incidents, this is the challenge the snow leopard facing is, I mean, the retaliatory killing is a major challenge is the snow leopard facing. And since 2016, I have found, seen, heard like at least 11 snow leopards have been found dead so far. Yeah, this is the one major challenge is retaliatory killings due to the mass killing of goats, sheep, and also in different villages, which is their mainly income depends on this goods. And then the snow leopard erased their life saving in the single nights. That's why since then I was totally changed my like direction of being a scientist or researchers to be becoming the conservationist. So what I did and doing is now is plan is to ending the snow leopard retaliatory killing and also to stop the mass killing through the innovative, sustainable, and practical solutions. So I have started snow leopard journey, which is high-end snow leopard ecotourism that's keep low impact tourism, including like 3 groups in a year, maximum 8 members in a group, and also 15% of the trade profits goes to the action-oriented conservation activities. So now we are capable of like crowdfunding with many projects like building corrals and also the training for the local youths. And what I now doing and did is like snow leopard sport trainings that this training capacity local youth in scanning skills and techniques. Yeah, most of the as a woman I mostly like engage and employ the women in training or conservation work. So not only I'm teaching the local youths about the scientific information of snow leopards, but also spiritual value, cultural value of snow leopards from our spiritual leaders. And from the training, what we learn is like our culture that value the snow leopard as a guardian of the mountains. And so far, I have trained 15 local youths, and we have more like plan to more train the local youth. Lots of local youths, mostly like young girls, they are so interested to be sporters. That's why my next plan to train more local youths. And second is what I'm doing is conservation awareness through kata. Kata is a ceremonial scabs. It's a very common use in our community, and also it's used mostly on the occasions of weddings, rituals, gathering, meetings, and whatever, like a farewell greetings, and it's and then I felt that this is the perfect like approach to go hand in hand and then to spread to conservation masses or the local people how important our snow leopard is. So and not the masses like masses spread not only from the conservation leaders but also from the spiritual leaders, and 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 we distributed to the spiritual leaders of monastery and local peoples and also herders. Next, our target is to distribute more, like every household with at least one kapas with the snow leopard masses. So in our culture we like value the kata is like the special things. So the snow leopard masses goes like hand in hand. It's really effective way. And this kata is not only the like it's a cotton. We all would every knows like about the cotton is a biodegradable, and it's also reusable, and also effective way of spreading the awareness within our community. And third, the solar foxlight. Solar, I think everyone it's from the snow leopard range countries. Everyone knows this about foxlights. It's a solar powered light. It's give a multicolors. It's also the light sensor. When getting dark, it's give lights which keep away the snow leopard. I scare the snow leopards at the night, and this foxlight is used by the local herders these days, like with the throne, which protect more. And when I distributed this foxlight, the women were so happy to get them, and now they said to save their nighttime sleeping. Because when I was surveying in every corner of the Dolpo, the herder women that sleep like entrance of the corals, and with burning the cow dung and whole night when snow to scare the snow leopard. But nowadays they say this save their nighttime also, and the snow leopards from the snow leopards. And this is not only the permanent solution. I found this is just immediate solution, but I'm looking for the permanent solution also. And thus I recently piloted predator-proof corals. The traditional corals in Dolpo is like this. It's a open, not closures, and single pile of stones, which is snow leopard easily jump over it and kill the livestock. And in return, snow leopards are killed by the herders. So, so local people, I found the local people, they try to improve the corals with the mirrorless roofing, but it's not like a predator proof. And I give me lots of knowledge and informations, and then I piloted this predator-proof corals in this Thiling village, because this site is very prone to the snow leopards herder conflict in the winters. And second thing is the community is so unity. And third, the corals is a communal. Everyone, if I build here, every household can benefit from this as corals. And it took me the 3 years to come my ideas into reality. And this to gathering the information from the scientists, researcher, and also from the local community, and from the engineer also. And I observed these all things from my eye. and yeah, this is a mixed design, which is before it was like a using the metal structure in replace of like a timber. Timber in this regions is like a treeless, no single tree grown in this region. It's like a arid regions like Mustang, and the if we use a timber for this structure, so I have to cut down like more than 10 standing trees from my village, because where is a trees is grown very well, but my heart couldn't say yes. That's why it took me 3 years to transport it easily, these transportation friendly metals. And yeah, and now it's very, we found is the transportation friendly. It's not in bowl based, and also the woman friendly. Lots of women can do this in the construction phase, and they are so interested in like weaving the mesh work. And yeah, this is the inner side of corals. And this is a finally ready. The manufacturer says it's long lasting, minimum 50 years. And I collected like observation from the local perspective. They say it will be long lasting, like next generation of next generations. So now it's like it's totally predator proof corals, and then piloted project was successful, and next we have a plan to replicate this type of design in train villages of more 10 corals. So yeah, and then so wow, Snow Leopard changed my life, because I'm now the founding director of a Snow Leopard Sister, which is a nonprofit, and also the founding director of Snow Leopard, as I told you already in the previous slides. And not only the founding director, I was like main character of this documentary, and now also like main characters and co-producer of the Snow Leopard Sister, which is coming soon. Yeah, I trained the 10 in 15 days, but she changed, her life where life and sort of stories is about this film. The film is about this sort of stories. And yeah, behind this achievement, my special thanks goes to Dr. Ghanshyam Gurung, who inspired me a lot at the first time. And I never forget his one important statement is we need a woman in the conservations. And in 2016, I had a great opportunity to lead the Dr. George Seller, and yeah, with the Peter Matthiesen's son Alex, to retrace the 1973 journey. And what I learned from, and I was influenced from him, is like how we love the snow leopards, and how we do appreciate the snow leopards. And yeah, and I'm so grateful to the Suzanne Hoskins and Wendy Wood, who supported like seed funding to my projects. Through their Wendy grandmother charity. Wendy grandmother was like renowned like explorer and conservationist in a hard time. And on my special thanks goes to Dr. Rodney Jackson. 2020, we had a trek together in Dolpo, and I learned a lot from him, how to work with the community and how to engage the local community in conservations. Yeah, and yeah, so we local people must conserve these snow leopards. And yeah, this what I like. Snow leopard changed my life, and not only me, changed my family and changed my local people, sister, village sister, and yeah, that's I'm did and doing. And yeah, thank you so much everyone for listening and watching.
Thank you so much, sharing. You're an inspiring snow leopard conservationist, and in the time I've known Tshiring over the last year and a half, she's accomplished so much, and you should be immensely proud of everything you've accomplished. And everyone at Snow Leopard Conservancy is very impressed by your amazing work. So thank you very much, and thank you everyone for tuning in and listening. We'll go ahead and open it up to questions now. I already see a few in the chat here. So sharing a couple of the questions we're seeing in here is asking a little bit more about your Snow Leopard Sisters nonprofit. So a question from Flavia is, can you talk more about the Snow Leopard Sisters and how that works more in detail? And I'm assuming, Flavia, that's about your nonprofit.
Thank you so much. Like I also for asking these questions. Like Snow Leopard Sister is like a non-profit, but in Nepal there's two types of profit, non-profit. One is a organization and another is a corporations. So my one is non-profit company which can make the profit but not distributed the profit. So what I'm thinking, my plan was to not rely on like funding on the other people's. If we can make ourselves like making the profit to save the snow leopards. So yeah, it's very helpful for us like a community. That's why its main goal and visions and like a mission is to end the retaliatory killings of snow leopards by empowering the local women's mostly particularly women's and engage, encourage a lot of these things to empower the woman. That's why it was like born.
Amazing, thank you. And then a question from Rocky. If you could go into a little more detail about Snow Leopard Journeys, your trucking company and program, and kind of what that all entails.
Thank you, Rocky, for asking the questions. It's a very good questions. Snow Leopard Journey is only focused on the Dolpo regions, like to run or organize the high-end snow leopard-based tourisms. So yeah, and we make some profit from them, the trade profit, and then the profit goes to the like conservation activities like training capacity local youth, and also is crowdfunding with some emergency project. Last year we did like co-funded like building that is pilot project Corals one.
Excellent. And let's see here. And feel free, if anyone still looking through the chat here, but feel free to come off mute as well if you have a question you'd like to ask Tshiring directly. Oh, here another comment from Rocky following up. So she's asking, the profits that you make, you hope to input back into the program and make it self-sustainable for the long run for Snow Leopard Sisters.
Yes, and yeah, the reasons of the Snow Leopard Sister was registered to end the retaliatory killings, which is like outcomes of our snow leopard upcoming snow leopard films, because we have an impact plan to raise the fund through that documentary Snow Leopard Sister. So yeah, and then for us like Snow Leopard Journey, also we have to our 15% profit goes through the snow leopard sister to the Dolpo. And what I'm doing, my plan was only focused on Dolpo Himalayas, not other parts of Nepal Himalaya.
Great. Thank you, sharing. And then a question from Hashim. Did you face any challenges from the human cooperation perspective? And if yes, how did you deal with it?
Yeah, it's a very common questions. Yeah, as a snow leopards conservationist, yeah, we have to face many challenges. Even I am a local people. My local people always, like, whenever I go there, they like seeing at me is a snow leopard gardens, snow leopard protectors. They are the livestock protector. So livestock gardens, there is a conflict arise, but what I am doing is to support local herders along this saving the snow leopards. So nowadays they like looking at me is differently, like positive way. Not only this, like I face with the lots of others, the conservations organizations and conservationists, yeah, sort of things. Is yeah, my mind is little bit innovative, sustainable, and practical, like preference. That's why it's not like matched with other organizations objectives and people like conservationist objectives. That's why I have to face a lot.
Mm-hmm. And one of the points I'll just bring up, which I really, really love about your predator-proof corral, and the one you built this past year, is that you are really involving the local community to keep that conflict down. So part of your with the system with the corral is that there's a co-op that's formed, correct? Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Sure. Yeah, it's totally depends on the local community. One except the engineer, because my corals is not only under the supervision of the engineer, and also me as a conservationist. Most of the labors, I mean the 99% labors from the community, and then. What we did this project, like pilot projects, like 50% of their labor contributed and 50% from our project.
Great. And then are you also having herders contribute to the maintenance and upkeep as well after the corral is built?
Oh yeah, that's good questions. That's the to make the sustainability there, we make the herder groups who keep the maintenance of the snow, corals, to keep the maintenance of corals, and they raise some premium from the every herder who like a per goat, like a 10 rupees per goat, which is used later in maintenance or other like wages of the herder who taking care of that corals lane. And yeah, we have a herder committee.
Fantastic. I think that's absolutely critical for sustainability. So it's really great you're incorporating that as well. Another question from Flavia. I was wondering what inspired you to dedicate your life to snow leopard conservation, and how did growing up in Dolpo shape your life or shape your views on human wildlife coexistence?
Yeah, before I was a child, and yeah, my duty was to care like livestock. At that time, I was, feel. To be honest, I was not interested to seeing the snow leopards, but later lots of inspiring. I made a lot of inspiring and influential peoples, and also my thesis like motivate me and to be like committed my life and determine my life to coexist with the snow leopards. And now I'm just what I've learned and is teaching to my local community. It's not a pace. It's not a enemy. It's our friends, it's our assets if we value these now leopards. Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, that bottom-up conservation is so critical. And another question, a question from Kamal Tapa. Is the government, such as the Department of National Parks, supporting your projects in terms of legal and financial?
Yes, thank you, Kamal Tapa Dai. And then not the financial support, the only but they are very positive to my work. So I got the permission, the construction permission from them, and also that's the training some of permission from them. Yeah, because my hometown is within the national park, so I have to go through all this like permission. But hopefully they will one day realize to support my work. Otherwise that's why my snow leopard journey was born, to co-funding the origin conservation project.
Great. And a question from Bikesh. How are the situations of marmots in the Kunasha region?
Marmot. Yeah, I have lots of pictures of marmots that with the staying with lots of bottles, because in Dolpo, regions is overlap habitat of snow leopards and many other wildlife, like including the marmots, and also the Yatsagumba, that's the caterpillar fungus, which is the high valued medicinal plants demanded from China. And lots of harvested food, the garbage, like bottles, tons of bottles inside the marmot burrow. So yeah, marmot are facing their own home, not secure home.
Excuse me. Another question, a question from Byra. Can you tell us a little bit more about spotlights as a prevention measure of snow leopard attack to corrals? Do they change the spots of the light once in a while? Snow leopards tend to get used to these measures. How do women deal with it? How do the herders deal with it?
Thank you, Byra, for the questions. Yeah, you are correct. You are very correct and right. But from the Dolpo, I haven't heard so far that the snow leopards used to this foxlight, but I have lots of from the other regions of Nepal, the Mustang Manang, after 3 years or 2 to 3 years, they used to foxlight and not be scared of it. But now in Dolpo, it's still working good in terms of the snow leopard protection and livestock protection board. But yeah, what I observe is it's not like permanent solution. It's immediate solutions. It's relief the herders, at least while there is no permanent solution. And also I forgot to mention that and the importing the in Nepal foxlight so expensive, like import taxes. So I'm now under the development of the snow leopard lights sort of things in Nepal, which is easily to accessible to the local herders by buying in the future. Maybe the foxlight is like damaged, a sort of thing under the investigation and also development. And I'll put that name is snow leopard light, not a foxlight.
Great, thank you. And Tshiring, just a follow-up question to that, and just a comment as well. I know with the foxlights, are you still using? I remember you mentioned that trees are very scarce in Dolpo. Are you still using metal poles to mount the foxlights? And how has that been working for the foxlight base?
Yeah, it's still working. That like still pole is very, very comfortable to carry from one area to another, because in Dolpo, like most of the herder rotational grazings, they stay 1 month in one place and move to the other place, like 1 to 3 months. They move from one to one. That's due to, you know, the available grasses and water resources, other things. So that's pole, like stew pole, is very helpful because there is no trees, no timbers, and what for foxlight is, like we have to put the foxlight, it's like vertically to the sun. But if with the timber, some pole, I mean the wooden pole, it's not found like straight for a straight one. And that's why this pole is very helpful for them, and it's a foldable also, you know. It's easily transported and carried.
Great. And just another follow-up to that one for myself. So we know there is no one size fits all, you know, for conservation, especially with some of these methods with foxlights and the predator-proof corrals. Are you with the predator-proof corral that you installed this year? Did you install foxlights in that area as well, or is it just the predator-proof corral?
In that area, only the predator-proof corals, but because we don't need the foxlight. Oh yeah, that's the good questions. We supported our distributor foxlight where there is no, you know, a predator-proof corals. They're moving. I already told you, like they're moving 1 month to another area. Within the 1 month, another area, so they carry a foxlight together with them. And so yeah, and my predator-proof coral is like there is a lot of criteria. It's built in the like more than 10 months, more than 3 months. They stay there, and especially in the winter's pasture. Because summer they move one place to another place within the 1 month. So in winter pasture and high conflict area with the village settlement close to the, you know, rocky areas and cliffs, sort of, yeah, area, lots of fun. And also is where lots of mass killing happen.
Great, thank you. Let's see. Another question from Flavia. I was wondering about the new corrals you developed. Is it a challenge to get the materials to these remote landscapes, and how are you dealing with it?
Yeah, okay, go on. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's just one more question to that. We can answer that question first, and we can move on to the next.
Sure. That it took me the like 3 years to come up the concept into reality. That's only for like in terms of transportations and material easily found in our area, but we have to carry from that like city to the remote area. So that's the I face a lot, and then our design came up with the nut bolt system. Now it's easily transported. There is no transportation facing, and also for the woman, it's easily carried to fixing that one and fit that one. It's woman friendly also.
That's wonderful. And then the follow-up question to that, excuse me, and how about the costs for developing new corrals? How do you think communities could finance to build similar corrals?
Yeah, it depends on the number of livestock, goods and sheep, and depending on the size of corals. Now this one we built like cost like 30,000 USD, including all the labor, wages, and material costs, and then transportation costs, and then the staff wages. Yeah, so all included. It's cost 30,000 USD, but in Dolpo, there are a few people who have more than 500 livestock. They can sell it, and they can do it. They can build it, but if they're interested, you know. So my one is not support the individual herders and private herders. My one is the communal corrals, to build the communal corrals. which like everyone can benefit from the corals.
Great. And then we have a question from Maria. Hi, Maria. She's asking, was wondering if you could share examples of ceremonies or rituals dedicated to snow leopards or spirits of nature in your communities.
Yeah, in our lots of like ceremony happens, spiritual ceremony happens in three times in a year. So sometimes we pre-harvesting, we have to do the ceremony, like it's ritual ceremony, and also in the pre-harvest, and some are in the meat also, when all people are free from the agricultural works, and so they did like rich spiritual ceremony. And we have lots of monastery everywhere in the Dolpo. So yeah, and then I think that the kava is mostly used like things, most of the important things in our community. That's why I use the commonly used, with like go hand in hand.
That's great. And Rocky's asking, what would you say are the toughest hurdles, hardships, or stumbling blocks that you've faced or had to overcome in relation to dealing with communities and or governments?
Yeah, for me, it's like easy to dealing with my community because I'm a local, so I can understand what they understand, and mostly my focus is local women. So the women, they are easily, like inspired and motivated from me. And another thing, yeah, from governmental is very hard everywhere. Yeah, it's hard to convince them, but yeah, but they support a lot, like to give a permission. You are doing the right things, yeah, sort of things.
Great. Then Byra's asking, have you done any attitude assessment survey among local people since they participate in various programs? I wonder how these programs change their attitude towards snow leopards.
I haven't like particular like a attitude survey with them, but what I did after my thesis, I went to every corner of my Dolpo where even the local people had been before, and to meet the local herders. And 99%, what I found is 99% of the herders are women. So so what their attitude is like, they're asking me a lot of few questions. That's why I changed my direction, from being a researcher scientist to becoming a conservationist. You always come, and you researcher and scientists always come to our area asking every livestock depredation and snow leopard killings date after you take the information from us, but in return nothing. So there is no benefit to save the snow leopards. Neither is snow leopard give us the food nor water, not yes daily life they are facing with the food and every daily lives things. And then yeah, these sort of things I found from them, and it was a really negative attitude. But I understand their anger and their attitude, and yeah, and now they are like what I'm convincing them, motivating them to engage and employ and empower in the snow leopard conservation. And they're now thinking always, whenever I go to my hometown community, they say call me like snow leopard sister. That's why always they say snow leopard sister, snow leopard sister. Even my name is Tshiring Lama, but they always call me snow leopard sister. That's why our upcoming film is about sort of like that.
That's great. You are the snow leopard sister. Are you noticing any other changes in the community after your involvement with them, other than what you described?
Oh yes, definitely. yeah, before my thesis research survey, I found that nobody interested to in the snow leopard concepts, even in the giving the information of the snow leopards. Nowadays, I got a lot of call from them, some need the foxlight, some wants to the training the sporters I train, and they need the more. Now it's like no more corals they need. It's really helpful for us to save the like protect the livestock. But for me, my aim is to save and help both snow leopards and herders' livelihood.
Absolutely. Do you think it might be possible to approach and support an industry in Nepal to manufacture a similar foxlight like product direct in the country to make costs more affordable and spread it more in the region? I think this is kind of referring to your earlier comments.
It's hard to find a manufacturer in Nepal because people invest in the innovative and the sort of project they do not interest. Even for me, finding that there are manufacturers to the metal structure, I did lots of survey and I found the 10 manufacturers, but none one interested to invest their effort and time in the new concept. So one of the manufacturers, I really appreciate him, and accept that proposal to develop my concept turn into the reality metal structure, which is very easily transported. That a not bolt system is it's very easy to connect each other.
Great. Not seeing any more questions in the chat, but I had another question for you, Tshiring. So I know you work with and mentor a lot of youth in the communities. What advice would you give a young conservationist who might be looking to follow in your footsteps, especially in your own community?
While I'm involving with the community and working in these snow leopards conservations, and I have learned a lot of things. But among them, what I have to say is we have to save snow leopards and also the people who coexist in the snow leopards. So one thing is this, and second one is whatever we are doing, follow our heart and mind and soul, which keep you, whether there is you have to face lots of challenges or you have to do lots of struggles. It doesn't matter, it's come from your heart and mind and body. So that's why whatever programs, maybe the conservation or whatever the agriculture background, anyway, that follow your heart and your passion, and that makes your a strong and committed conservationist.
Absolutely. I completely agree that following your heart will absolutely guide you. Thank you for those words. Another question from Flavia. What challenges did you face as the first woman from your community to pursue higher education and natural resource management?
Especially my family faced a lot because I was the first woman to not only the master's degree, I was the first to be educated in my community. So my parents faced that. My parents means my father, I was young, he died, and my mother faced lots of, oh, why your daughter is going to school? It's it's not, it's a traditional, it's a superstitious, lots of facing. But later what I graduated and lots of people oh, you did a great job. Now our daughters and you following your path, that sort of things get like inspired from my community.
Absolutely. Amazing. Another question here. How can people, how have the traditional practices informed your conservation strategies?
Our traditional sex, I'm not the like follow the like all practices of traditional, but I have to select the good practices of the traditional, and also from the scientific perspective, I've also the good practices. I always follow the good practices, so it's really helped to conservation to make the conservation strategy. For example, the SCADA one is also that's the like traditional approach, but what I did is little bit with the conservation masses, so that goes like hand in hand, and it's a better than the poster and signboard on the trail. It's signboard and poster is within the week, it's torn on and it's like you're broken by the someone else on this trail. That is kada people, local people respect and keep in their in front of their house or in front of their drawers, like they respect the kada one. That's why. And also from my like local spiritual leader here, we learned like that snow leopard, our culture valued the snow leopard garden of the mountains. That sort of things, that sort of things keep me to follow the good traditional practices to make the conservation strategy.
Just to follow up on that, were there any, when you were meeting with the herders to design the predator-proof corral, were traditional practices taken into consideration in the design of the corral? And how did you involve herders in the construction or the design process of that corral?
Yeah, lots of information like inputs from the herders. Like for example, before we like lay out the foundation, we did the ceremony, like the local spiritual ceremony. And for the design, it was before like the drainage system. Drainage system is not was in design before, like first draft. But what I learned from them, they said in the rainy seasons, lots of water logging, and it's caused the livestock hoof disease. So that's the drainage come from this. So in front of that corals, there's a lot of I think within the 2 feet there is the drainage pipe. That's information inputs from the local community. And another one is my one is suggestion to have build of the stones and have build of the like sort of like mesh wall, but local community suggests me it's like fully stone wall is stronger than the mesh wall for long lasting. That's why only we mesh wall cover in the roofing, not half of the wall. I hope you got it. And yeah, lots of information. This is like a major one, and there's lots of minor also input from them. That's coral design is based on like horror community, local community, and from engineer and from scientific like you and Dr. Rodney Jackson, and yeah, and from my long-term observation and experience.
Yeah, so a lot of work went into that corral from everyone involved.
Yeah, and from my perspective, I want to make that the roof is flat, but harder says it should be the like a slope, little bit slope in the winter, the heavy snowfall. So so they want to put the tarpaulin plastic on the slope roof, so that's why snow going down itself. That's yeah, slope roof also come from like inputs come from the herders. Yeah,
Great.
it's totally based on the herder information, lots of this is a mix.
Yes, and this is the first winter that the corral has been in use, correct?
Yes, very correct.
Any updates from the community about how it's going?
It's going very good, and also I got lots of messages from all the villages in the Dolpo. They need like this, they need like this. Then I told them already there's lots of criteria, so I will see next time. And then first we have to do the preliminary and consent meeting, and also lots of we have to do before the support in the corals. That's I told them.
Great. How can people from outside mountain regions support snow leopard conservation?
This is hard to say, but other areas, I mean, the mountain regions in the Nepal is better than our Dolpo one, because our Dolpo is the most remote, where snow leopard conservation awareness is it's not there in the on time. So now it's little bit local people are getting the awareness, conservation awareness to save the snow leopards and other wildlife, and yes.
Wonderful. And another follow-up here. How are you dealing or plan to deal with issues related to tourism, like trash or garbage production?
Yeah, it's from well, this is lots of trash, and there's a plastic pollution in everywhere in I think all over the world, and in Dolpo is like it's huge because the Dolpo is connected to Tibet borders. So lots of things come in once a year from the Tibet. So local people through everywhere, but national park and others are trying to manage the waste. But it still is hard to implement that one rules and everything. For us, like snow leopard journey, wherever we go, we gather the plastic. We try to reduce the plastic if the plastic use, and we did give some local people reuse, like putting some things, and other we like digging the hole and just manage that one. Yeah, we have this the everywhere like people challenge. I face the challenge like plastic pollution.
Absolutely. That's why I really
yeah, and really even the khatas like this, there's like silk khata, polyester khata everywhere, and our local people use a lot on then unnecessary, and we found a lots of plastic khatas and in like a Zagreb mountains and in the pilgrimage site and monastery. Yeah, that's why this like a biodegradable khata is come up.
Absolutely. You read my mind there. I was just about to bring that up as well. It's fantastic that you're able to implement that as well, something that will not be lasting for years and years and years and hundreds of years. Another question from Flavia. Thank you, Flavia, for all the questions. And she's asking, related to stray dogs, are they a challenge and a risk for wildlife in your region?
I think in Dolpo there is not strict that, but we have a few feral dogs. Yeah, it was once upon a time. I think that 10 years ago, it was lots of like feral dogs. We faced the feral dogs, like I mean the harder face the feral dogs. They use for the guarding, but later it's turn into the feral dogs, and they kill the livestock and also the wildlife, and I heard that news from the local people. They killed a few feral dogs, but now it's still they're using the feral dogs. First they're using the mastiff dogs like for the livestock guarding, protecting, but later turn into feral dogs. But in Nepal, in Kathmandu, there are lots of street dogs.
To your knowledge, there's been no interactions with wildlife in that area?
I haven't heard so far, yeah. One of the horror sharing me, like one upon a time, snow leopard was attacked by the feral dogs. That's that's a oral information. I haven't find any evidence and records.
That's good. Good news. I'll just have one final question for you, Tshiring, unless anything else comes in. I think we can go ahead and close our webinar for the day. So you mentioned that you're training the 15 youth as snow leopard spotters. Are those young people being employed with snow leopard journeys? And how is their training going? And what are they up to today?
Yeah, we trained the 15 local youths, but like 60% of them are really interested in like doing the sporters. So yeah, of course we employed them, and not only that the snow leopards like a journey, we also involved them in the conservation, like snow leopard conservation. We employed lots of people. I mean that you train youths for the corals also.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that update. Well, great. Thank you so much, Tshiring, for a very inspiring webinar. I believe that's all the questions we have for you. And thank you again for everyone for joining us this evening, this morning, afternoon. We really appreciate everyone tuning in. And thank you to Snow Leopard Network, to Byra, to Rocky for setting this all up. And very well done, Tshiring. Thank you.
And thank you so much, and Kelly and Raki and everyone. I'm so glad to share my work with you guys, and yeah, and please stay connected with the Snow Leopard Sister that coming soon. I will share your link when it's published. I've released.
Thank you so much, Tshiring and Kaylee. And Tshiring, we will look forward to hearing from you and sharing more with the network. But really appreciate both of you giving us this time. It was awesome. Thank you.